Hello everyone, this is Zibo and welcome to yet another episode of Indie News. So it's 24th February tomorrow, Thursday. So as usual, the update is coming and let us see what part 2 of the Slayer Snakes collab has for us, as well as what to expect in the upcoming patch. So first of all, we look at the new hero, which is Xellos. So here is Zero, right? But the name is actually Xellos within the translations itself. So the party buff for this character is weapon skill regen speed plus 30%. So future knights weapon skill regen speed as well as users one. So not sure whether or not that's a good news, but let us move on. I'll include the description for the skills on the right hand side so that you guys can hypothesize yourself how this hero will play out. But from what I can tell, this hero is going to be pretty elusive. He's going to be able to teleport around and gain movement speed and just run about, like pretty much like a Lucy kind of character. So I'm kind of excited to try him out once he's officially released, because I like elusiveness, I like to reposition myself, and this hero could be the new favorite toy for me. So that's pretty much it for Xellos. So the staff is known as the Staff of Xeroth. Okay, so that's it, right? So note, the collaboration heroes and exclusive equipment. Collaboration heroes and exclusive equipment can be acquired by exchanging 200 special mileage ticket. So this is basically the current exclusive hero tickets that you guys can see within the shop. So this ticket will be converted to the normal mileage ticket once the events end. So if you guys want these characters and you guys are able to farm up this mileage ticket, then do take note that these are the stuff that you guys need to exchange before the whole thing ends, because once the event ends, right, you won't be able to exchange for the heroes or the exclusive weapons anymore. So that's pretty much it. So next one, we have a new stuff, right, for collection for stuff, but we have a lot of stuff already, so probably just like a new addition, right? Nothing too spectacular. We have the story replay for World 11. Okay, so for those of you guys who are into replaying the story, into challenging yourself, into beating the boss again in World 11, then I think this is a good thing. Then next we have the Guild Conquest. So let us look at the developers' comments first. In the officially open Conquest War, major improvement has been made in consideration to the opinions of the knight in the previous Conquest. So first, they improved the basic progression armor system to create a variety of attack experiences for each guild. The improved occupation warfare proceeds in a way that pioneer routes by contingently occupying the adjacent node of the occupying nodes. Okay, I can't really understand this part. You can create a guild's own attack route by strategically selecting which strategic effect to acquire and how many bases to occupy within a limited action force. So action force is probably the amount of attempts within the guild. So each player will have 3 attempts each, and the control tower no longer requires the capture of all military bases in that phase. Instead, the buffs applied to the boss monsters in the control tower are weakened according to the number of camps occupied. Therefore, you can strategically choose how many camps you want to attack according to your guild's capability balance, so that boss monsters in specific bases do not have excessive HP. So I guess it only applies to the last few stages. Like the bosses in the last few stages in the previous Conquest were pretty outrageous. Like you need to be super stacked in order to clear it, so not really a good thing. I think they changed that, so that's good. So we have assigned an appropriate level of stamina to the base of challenging difficulty, so you can feel the sense of achievement of occupation, and they added a ranking system to add an element of fun. So the ranking between guild members and between guilds is calculated based on attack points obtained through the base attack. So strategy choices will be required to achieve a high score. So now we have a guild ranking system for Guild Conquest similar to Guild Raid. So I guess that's a good thing for a bit of competition. That's that, right? So move on. Guild Conquest. A new season of Guild Conquest begins. It proceeds in a different way from the previously introduced Guild Conquest beta. So each guild will develop their own route by occupying the adjacent bases of the occupied bases. Okay, so okay, the map got changed out. A lot different compared to the previous time, and I think there's some elemental mark on the floor, so it's to indicate the element of the tiles. Not too sure about that, right? So we shall wait and see. So change in progress. When occupying a base, you can progress. You can occupy the occupied base and adjacent bases. You can start occupying the base that was open from the beginning. So what you can start by occupying the truck, and then you can start moving outwards, so it's like a puzzle thing. So each member probably has one attempt to take over the tiles, and then the boss fights will be for the usual raid stuff, right? So I guess that's that. Then they have a change in armor system. So each level of control tower has its own armor, and the strength of the buff applied to the control tower boss monster is determined by the armor status. So let's say now you have 4 control towers, the boss will have 500% defense, I guess, HP, I guess, right? So the more control tower you take over, or the less control tower remaining, the less buffs they have on the boss. So that means that it'll be easier if you take over more control towers per stage. Okay, then there's a ranking system within the guild. Okay, that's pretty nice for people who are into competitive guild conquest stuff. And when attacking bases, you can acquire attack points. Normal battle bases earn attack points every time they clear a battle stage. Okay, this part I'm really like not too sure how it's gonna work out. Right, so damage dealt to the boss. Okay, so these details, right, we'll review it once the whole guild conquest drop shortly in a few days time. So this part I'll do a review separately, but right now it seems very complex. Good news, right, because there's more things to discover, but we shall see. There's also a change in the reward system, so it's like a point system similar like a roadmap. Okay, not a bad thing. Okay, we're collecting points with occupation when occupying a base. Okay, so you no longer get like the rewards from occupying the base like last time, but right now, rather, if your whole guild is able to hit a certain point, then you're able to get the rewards. So I guess that's not a bad change, right? It encourages guild effort, so that's that, right? Encourages you to push your guild members so that everybody get more rewards. And we have new strategic bases and changes. Okay, so all these are all the bases from the previous time. They have some changes. Okay, so I mean the military base is probably to make the control tower easier to take over, and the big button is to give you more points, I guess. And we have a huge button which will give you even more points. I guess these are the new bases, by the way. These are the new bases. And we have a missile launcher, so you weaken the skills of the headquarter boss monsters. And then the skills of the boss monsters will be weakened based on which missile launcher you take over. So I guess these are basically new points on the map over here, right? So these are the old icons, probably towards the end. Maybe this is one of the buttons that they're talking about, this red color one over here. So that's something to take note of, but I'm not too sure, right? So we'll wait until exact confirmation. And then technology that weakens missile launch pad. Okay, after a certain period of time. About drones. Okay, these okay, so these are changes to the missile launch pad occupation. Not too sure how this works though. Well, what does missile launch pad occupation work? Is it like the usual battle system? Because I didn't really have much difficulty there. But I guess if they sort of like make it easier, then it is easier for weaker guilds to get more rewards. So it's still a good thing nonetheless. I kind of don't get this technology part. So like it's probably something to do with the translation. I honestly like kind of like how do I decipher this, right? So I'll leave it to you guys to decipher yourself. I'm reading it and I'm kind of confused at how this thing works, because like this is a very major change, right? It's a, like I'll say that this revamp probably indicates that Guild Conquest is gonna be like a more refreshing game mode. So that's that. And then we have the new markers for the guild leaders. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Guild Conquest. So basically a major revamp for the Guild Conquest mode. A lot of new things. Some are pretty confusing as well. We shall see what this means. I'll do a proper translation once I understand the whole situation. Right, I kind of don't want to confuse you guys by giving my own interpretation here, because I don't get it. So that's that. And let us move on to the next part. Okay, so co-op mode. Okay, so this season we plan to present the simplest defense map to the night. Okay, so unlike the previous map, there is narrow streets. This map's main purpose is to block the enemy's mass offensive by gathering strength in the wide battlefield. So basically, they will just spawn from one spot, and all you gotta do is defend. So this is probably gonna be like the simplest defense co-op. Not a bad thing, right? Because people are complaining that defense co-op are a little too challenging. But then again, I like challenges, so this part we shall see how this will turn out. It's super duper simple. I kind of like it, but I kind of dislike it because it could be really simple as well. So that's something to take note of, and let us move on. So we have a new loot. Okay, so this is for the dark one, Villain's Masterpiece Glass, for the dark dark artifact that boosts more dark attacks. So I think the boss is gonna be basic because Xellos is dark, so I think it's to like make up for his element. So yep, basically basic enemies, and we have a dark favored defense co-op. Then we have some improvements. Okay, so center wave notification exposed in the result screen is fixed. Okay, improvement has been made so that the reason for defeat can be confirmed through the in-game notification. Okay, so I think this part is something which is in response to a hidden kill mechanic. So in case you guys don't know, if the mob count within the defense co-op map reaches, I think, a certain threshold, I think 32 or something, you will just lose the game straight away, even though your base is still at full HP. So this is a hidden condition, and people are just confused like why they suddenly lost. So I think this is to indicate that, hey, why do you lose the game, you know, in case you just get disconnected and then you just like lose straight away. So it's a quality of life improvement for co-op defense mode. And then they have a background color for in-game notification improved. Okay, improvement has been made so that other buttons can be operated at the same time while selecting loot. Yes, this is something which I kind of hate, because sometimes, right, you could be fighting the monsters halfway and then suddenly the loot selection comes out, and then you can't move. You're just stuck at the spot and you get killed by the boss or like killed by the warrior minion. So this is a good change. Okay, so emoji usage is restricted while the loot selection window is open. Huh? I don't get why do you restrict emoji usage. It's kind of, I'm gonna put an angry face if I get a lousy loot. Why do you restrict it? I don't get it. Okay, display of monster spawn points on the minimap has been improved to be more intuitive. Okay, so this is more like for more clearance, for people to know where the monsters are coming from. And then for the friendly arena, you have the ability to change the current match setup. Okay, so definitely great news for arena fanatics out there. And then we have Awakening Stone exchange function. So this exchange function was actually released last week. Basically, you're able to change out the different stones by exchanging them out with a bit of gold. So you can change attack stone to defense stone to HP stones. So it's just a minor quality of life improvement in my opinion, because if you're in the end game, you will need all the elements of stones. Trust me, you need a lot and you need a ton of them. So yeah, basically this exchange system is probably for those of you guys who are currently like trying to maximize a certain hero pool, then you can exchange it. So to me, not very major, but still a good quality of life exchange. And then we have a new Masters Arena map. So this map is, they literally brought a car park into the map itself. Okay, this map is going to be pretty range centric. There's a lot of obstacles, especially the pillars in the middle. I'm kind of interested to see how this will work out, because I think recently the map's introduction, they were, I think the World 12 or World 13 map wasn't really good, because like I think the effects that the map had, right, it was a bit too glowy and sometimes very painful for the eyes, because like the glowing effect is not very good. So I hope they don't do that kind of glowing thing for this one. This one looks really simple, and yeah, it will definitely bring a new fresh of air for arena gameplay, I guess. So that's it for the arena map. And then we talk about the heroes and equipment improvements. So developers comment balance patch to be included in this update will improve mainly on warrior heroes. Okay, I mean here they state warrior heroes, right, but there's an Eleanor in the pool. Okay, so they have an Eleanor in the pool, so okay, fine. Then they make it such that Yuze and Scintilla's weapon skill is a lot easier to hit, increasing their utility. And then they increase the status ailment for Sohi's weapon skill, making it easier to apply a chain. So Yep, this will definitely make this 3 unit a bit more viable. So let us take a look at the change. So we have a HB improvement for Yuze, defense improvement for Yuze, defense improvement for Scintilla. So exact stats change will be reported by me in the everything you need to know video. So this is just the base stats change. Let us move on. And we have the chain skill improvement. Okay. So Scintilla's chain skill increased from 250 to 270%. Okay. Then Eleanor changed from 20% damage reduction to 30% damage reduction. So everything else is roughly the same. And for the exclusive weapon, uses exclusive weapon skill dash time accelerated by 0.04 seconds, and the judgment time is advanced by 0.05 seconds. So I think this is going to be pretty major, because I don't usually see Yuze, but I think Yuze's biggest problem was using the weapon skill to pounce on the enemy. So the activation as well as the dash time being improved makes it such that she's gonna react a lot faster when she uses her weapon skill, and it's gonna be a lot harder for your opponent to react. So she's gonna be a bit of a problem if this turns out to be too powerful, because she's gonna just boom boom boom, you know, go really really fast, because her current issue is that she can't really chain so easily, even if she has her very low weapon skill cooldown time. But if you make her judgment time for her skill, right, the ticks to be a little faster, then this would make her weapon skill chain a lot more easily. So I'm not too sure how this will work out, but this seems like a pretty major change. I could be wrong, but yeah, you do the jump, the dash time, you know, she's gonna pounce a little bit faster, and her weapon skill is gonna like tick a little bit faster. So the change to MK2 actually made MK2 a little bit more viable. So I assume Yuze might also see the same treatment, but then again, Earth is still very strong, so I'm not sure as a water unit and as a weapon skill regen speed unit how much use Yuze will have, but you know, we'll let time tell. And then we have Nerout, so increase the status for the weapon skill, and they also increase the range for Scintilla's weapon skill by 0.3 squares. So this two buff to Sohee and Scintilla will definitely make them a little bit stronger within arena. Will they see more use? I guess to a certain extent, because being able to chain more easily makes the unit a lot more viable in a lot of cases. So I guess that's that. As a Sohee user, I think this is definitely a great improvement. So Heavenhold Tower increased to 83 floor, Japanese voice, new collection, okay. Bug fixes and improvement, I'm not going to cover as usual. So all these are different packages, which I'll cover in another video separately, so not going to talk too much, okay. So we have a pickup event. So pickup event is, I'll include it on the right hand side, the heroes, so you guys know. I think it's Kamel, Xellos, pretty powerful pool if I remember correctly. Then there's a bingo event. So according to what I know, within this bingo event, you're able to get all of Gauri's weapon. So you're gonna be able to max it out. So I guess that's where the max immediate weapon for Gauri comes from. So please remember to do this event, because you get a max immediate weapon for free just by playing. So that's a good news. So Meteor Excavation. And we have a new super costume for Lucy. Pretty hot, by the way, I think. I think it's a little bit too hot, you know. The temperature in the room suddenly rose ever since I saw this picture. So yeah, it's a really really good one for Lucy. And then we have a new costume for Xellos. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this update. I think this video went a little bit too long, but hopefully you guys are excited for this patch. Tomorrow, as usual, I'll do the update stream. And thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more videos from the channel. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.